Hey everyone, it's Kai from Cool Collectibles back again for another review. This time it's the Bandai Star Wars movie realization C-3PO, and I have to say straight up that this is another fantastic figure in this series. There's probably a couple of minor things that you do need to be aware of and be careful of, and I'll get to that shortly. But for now, just quickly go through the packaging. If you know this series, you'll know the sort of style of the front cover out there, so I like that. And the Japanese name for this is the, I'm assuming I'm pronouncing it correctly, Honyaku Karakuri, which I read is something along the lines of the interpreter machine or something like that, which I guess is appropriate for this figure. And of course on the back of it you get the various pictures of the figure itself. And looking at the instruction manual, I was able to find out, which I had no idea about, that the eyes are movable. I knew that the mouth was movable, but I didn't realize the eyes were as well, but we'll get to that shortly. And then there's the packaging there, the clamshell. The accessories, it doesn't come with too much, so it does come with some swap out hands, a relaxed hand here. I do love the sort of sculpting with the rebel symbol on the back of his hand there, and the gold sort of paint application, the dirt wash, and a bit of the sort of rust effect is very nicely done throughout the body. So you get a couple of those relaxed hands, and then you get a couple of the hands that can hold the fan. And I do love the fan. It's not a foldable fan, so this isn't paper or anything like that. It doesn't rotate at the point there, if I can actually focus. And it does feel a little bit delicate, so just be careful. I do like the rebel symbol there, and the paint application overall is pretty good, along with the supposedly bamboo parts there, or wood parts at the bottom there. And I think you can just sort of fit it in the hand holding that, so you can just sort of slide it in there, something along those lines, to hold the fan. And I think that doesn't look too bad at all. But I'll give you guys a closer look at the figure now. Hold on. It's always great when Bandai can give us a new mold in this series. The last one that was at least mostly new was the Snow Trooper, and I have to say, for the most part, this figure has mostly new parts that I can determine. I think these pants here might be maybe reused, but these parts at the bottom here that sort of tie the pants together, that might be completely new as well. I don't know if that's in the Darth Maul or any other sort of figure, but for the most part, the shins here, even this section here, it's a similar style to the Karma and so on of the other figures, but that all has slightly different molding. And of course you get the rear butt plates there, you get the gourd drink vessel. I'm not sure what this key is, to be honest. I can't off the top of my head think of anything in the movie that sort of represents, so I'm not sure what that is. If you can give any clues on to what that is, comment below and let me know. But I do like the sort of different sort of styling and colouring that sort of gives an offset to the gold. The arms, by all accounts, from what I can see, are all brand new, as you can see with the moulding there, and the chest plate, and the rear is new as well. And of course the head sculpt and sort of chin and neck area is all new and specific to this figure. The moulding and paint application, I think, is beautifully done. It's got not a chromed finish, it's got a slightly metallic gold sheen to it, and of course it's got the little bits of rust and detailing around the joints and so on. The head sculpt, now the eyes, the instructions sort of say that you can just use your fingertips, so just be careful you don't damage it or strip off any paint. But as you can see there, if I just slightly move the eyes around, if I can just, this right eye here is a little bit harder to move, but you sort of get the idea when moving the eyes. It doesn't really have too much range of motion. You can give him a derpy sort of look there as well, but you get the idea. and of course the mouth here also moves. It doesn't open up too far, but I guess in this scale it sort of gives a bit of a nice effect there, and you can close it up fairly nicely if you want just a static pose, and I'll probably have it closed myself. This whole neck piece, it's actually two pieces. This piece around the upper neck there is a separate piece to this one at the bottom, and they do move and rotate. It does give a decent range of motion for the neck, so you can sort of have the upper joint along the neck there to give him that walking like an Egyptian style, and he can look up fair way like so, and then look down quite a long way as well. So I think they've done excellent with the articulation there, so you can get a lot of head tilt as well. The shoulders, they're on the same sort of sliding joint for the shoulder pads there as the other figures. It is pretty tight, so just be careful on how you sort of pull that up and down, but overall the way they are, I think you can just sort of slide that down. This one here is a bit tighter. If you sort of just move that slightly down like so, you can then get a wider range of motion in the arm and get pretty much 90 degrees out to the side, which I think is pretty nice. And you do have that sort of butterfly on the shoulder, and you can sort of have the up and move it up and down just to get him closer to the arms, closer to the body. Now the area that I mentioned that you might need to be a bit careful of course, is the pistons here. There are no pistons on the rear. I guess there's this sort of fake piston thing here at the back. I'm not sure if that's if you can actually move that or not, to be honest. It looks like there's a pin there, but I probably wouldn't risk moving it. But this piston at the front does slide up along here, and there is a warning in the instructions that if you bend the arm to a certain amount, probably just on 90 degrees or a bit less, it might break that piston. So be very careful in over bending that arm. And what I found was when you extend it out, there might be a chance for this part of the pin to pop out as well. So mine's actually on a I've pushed it back in there, so it's pretty tight in there, but essentially on this end there is a little ball joint that I just pushed back in there, because mine actually popped out and scared the crap out of me. I thought I broke it when I first did it, but that is really just a ball joint. So just be careful with the pistons there in case you break something. But as you can see, the sculpting and the detailing on the arms is just beautiful. Love all the detail in the gauntlets there. Now the chest plate, it's got all the sort of usual style. I'm assuming that's the whatever that the Jawa droid immobilizer thing, and a few other pieces. This back piece here is removable for the hole at the piece at the back there. I think it's not quite symmetrical, so I just rotated it so that it sat a little bit higher up on his back for a bit more symmetry in the back there, so you can rotate that around. While we're back here, you can sort of see the detailing in his circuitry at the midsection here. So it's interesting how they've sculpted in the spine there. I love all the wiring detail. You get in on the front there, you can see the different colouring. There's a bit of greens and bronze and so on, silver. So there's the upper waist rotation, so you can get quite a good range of motion at the top there. And then of course there's the swivel joint at the bottom as well, so double jointed torso area there. And then of course there's this whole Kama piece, which is glued together, but really flexible sort of plastic that's I think that might be actually glued onto the waist, so it's not a floating piece or anything, but again, lots of nice sort of bronzing in the paint application and details there. And then the pants, nothing too special there. You can sort of get a good range of motion with the splits, and of course you then have the double jointed knees, and I love the way they've designed those knees. Beautifully hidden joint, that just looks fantastic. And of course I love that they went with the original styling and from the movie, with one silver leg and one gold leg. And it feels like the ankle articulation, especially in the ankle rocking motion, is slightly easier to get that ankle rocking motion than some of my other figures. For some reason these joints that they use on these movie realization figures don't seem to have as good ankle rocking motion as some of their SH Figure Arts figures. So not sure why that is, but this one seems a little bit easier than some of the other figures I've had. But that's pretty much it for the figure. Hopefully that gives you a good idea on the range of articulation. I think it has a beautiful range of articulation. You get him into all sorts of dynamic poses, but for me, I'll probably be just posing him up with the fan, holding the fan, probably in a more effeminate type pose that's appropriate to the character, and I'll pose him up with probably, not sure, Boba Fett probably, and so on. So I'll see how I go, but I will be posting up some more photos on the Cool Collectibles Facebook page, so hopefully you can head over to Facebook and check out that page as well. But hopefully you like that quick look at this new Bandai Star Wars movie realization 3PO. I really do hope they start announcing more figures. They seem to take ages to announce or release anything in this series. I'm not sure why they take so long, but I think there was a teaser for the IG-88 figure, so hopefully they do that soon, and I don't know, announce a scout trooper with a horse or something that really does blow our minds. But that's pretty much it. Hopefully you like that quick look, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks. See ya. Bye.